Howdy folks, monthly update for the month of May. We are standing here early June with Test match rugby not too far away. The Nations Championship is really on the horizon at this point, but we still need to wrap up all the club rugby first this month largely. URC is already into the knockout stages. Super Rugby's knockouts begin this weekend. Top 14 and Prem also about a week away from their knockout stages, plus Bordeaux have already lifted one trophy in the Champions Cup. So club rugby's got it all to go for its conclusion. And then Test match rugby is back. But now we're going to talk about some of the main news stories which have been in the headlines the last couple of days, including Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, James Lowe, Fehi Fineaganofo, and Shaun Edwards with France potentially exiting. And some of the big stories which were, at least on this channel, big news in the month of May. Weirdly enough, the number one story it's kind of a non-story. It's all drama, but we'll get to that in a second. I like to look back at the stats from the channel from the month that was. I like the geography to see where the viewers are from, and it's great that it's like a pretty even split. It's the same 5 countries usually. This month it's South Africa 1, Ireland 2, UK 3, New Zealand 4, Australia 5. It's usually these 5 with France every now and again sneaking in there to the top 5. But there's like 2% between Ireland and South Africa, so it's a good, real even spread. And I like that. We are joined by rugby more so than we are by the geography. And likewise, the age groups, like 35 to 44-year-olds beat out the age group one before them, the 25 to 34-year-olds, by like 1%. There's a decent amount of people in all the age groups. So, yeah, it's a real mix of rugby fans, and I really do enjoy that. One of the geographical, I don't want to say anomalies, but potentially unexpected results was the fact that Mexico beat out Samoa for views in the month of May. Neither was very high. I'm not getting a lot of views from Mexico or Samoa, but yeah, Mexico. Maybe there's some diehard rugby fans in that part of the world at the moment. I mentioned some drama, like with all the stuff that went on in the month of May. The one video that we made on this channel that did the best, if you want to call that, was Squidge Rugby, who is the biggest rugby YouTuber, his spat with Andy Good, the commentator, former international pundit, who told Squidge that he should go back to his basement, or mum's basement, after Squidge had said on social media that his commentary was overly negative and kind of go harping on about the TMO and whatnot. So, yeah, apparently rugby fans love a bit of drama as well. On this channel, we don't tend to delve into that much dramatic stuff. As I said, it's kind of non-news, news-ish. Like, it led on to me making a video about commentary teams, which I enjoy, and I thought that was an interesting discussion, and to see the commentary teams and, you know, guys you like to listen to on the broadcast and whatnot, because it is an important part of the game. So it had its positives, but it's just interesting that drama tops everything else in the month of May. It maybe speaks to us as a human culture. We just love a bit of drama. Seems to be a thing. I do also need to say a thank you guys to all being here. Firstly, for liking and subscribing, because without you guys, the channel isn't really the community that it is at the moment. And I also need to say a special thanks to the patrons. I will scroll their names up this wall. All these people help support the channel financially despite these tough times. So if you want to join these people, help keep the channel going, because without them, the channel wouldn't be here. There'll be a link down to Patreon in the description. We sometimes put videos out earlier on Patreon. We sometimes put exclusive stuff out on Patreon. So yeah, check it out in the description if you want to support the channel. Special thanks to Angus for all that continued support as well. But yeah, some rugby news. Sasha Feinberg-Mngomezulu, unfortunately, in the recent knockout match between the Stormers and Cardiff, got himself an ankle injury. They haven't said exactly how long he is going to be out just yet, but it doesn't look great. It's at least weeks and potentially months from what I've read about this so far. Looking forward to the greatest rivalry tour, which is very much on the mind of a lot of All Blacks fans at the minute, ahead of, I know it's after the Nations Championship, but it's still kind of looming large. That first All Blacks test is not until late August. So we're just the start of July now. Fingers crossed he's back and absolutely 100% back to match fitness by that point. Hopefully it is at the week's end rather than the month's end. 6 weeks or something like that, maybe 4 weeks. It would be nice to get him back relatively quick, because the guy is just one of the faces of the game at the moment. He's a very exciting player to watch. He's got big potential about his game. He's still a very young man. Injuries can be a setback, but fingers crossed his ankle injury is not going to keep him out for too long. But selfishly, I just want to see him play the All Blacks, so that looks like it's going to be fine. It's a weird one as well, because when he went down, it didn't look initially that bad, but then you saw him on crutches, and you started to get worried. Contracts, James Lowe, speaking of some guys who've been in the news, James Lowe potentially leaving Leinster. Nothing's been confirmed about that just yet. If he does leave Leinster and Irish Rugby, then obviously he won't be available for the next World Cup, which would be a real shame. He is 33. So unlike Sasha, he's kind of at the other end of his career scale. He's not the potential guy. He is the veteran. He's just broken Leinster's all-time try-scoring record, which was great for him. But there's nothing confirmed as I record this video just yet. He's been linked with Northampton. He's 33, as I said, so he's still got he is not a guy who solely relies on pace. He's got a great fend on him. He's got a hell of a boot. So he can still certainly offer something to whoever signs him, but if he's not being offered what he thinks he's worth, it could be potentially curtains for his Irish and Leinster career, but we'll wait and see. Nothing has been confirmed just yet. Likewise, Fehi Fineaganofo, he's again at the other end of the career scale. He's only, 23? If you haven't seen this guy, he's been devastating form in Super Rugby this year. He has already equaled the all-time Super Rugby season try-scoring record. I think he's got 16 tries. He has been on absolute fire. Run meters, clean breaks, everything. He has been doing it for a high-flying Hurricanes team. But he's signed to go to Newcastle next season. But with the form that he's in, he would surely be in the All Blacks conversation if he were not heading overseas. So there's been a lot of talk in the media about how New Zealand Rugby need to get him out of this contract to keep him in New Zealand. And there's been stories circulating around that. Maybe that is going to happen. Maybe he will be able to stay in New Zealand. I can't help but think it's his agent stirring up the media a little bit, because the contract has been signed and New Zealand Rugby have said we ain't going to buy players out of their contracts. He's obviously going to earn a lot more at Newcastle than what he would playing Super Rugby here in New Zealand. If you become an All Black, then you get a decent boost to your pay scale. It's a massive boost to become an All Black, but he's not an All Black just yet. I don't think New Zealand Rugby, their financial situation has not been that fantastic that they can afford to go splashing cash to buy guys out of their contracts. They, I think, have denied this move, but maybe the agent is pushing for it. If I was Fehi and I thought I was going to make the All Blacks, I'd be pushing my agent to get me out of the contract to Newcastle as well. Newcastle's the bottom side in the Premiership. They've won, 2 games? I know they won at the weekend. They beat Sale, massive comeback, but they've won 2 games. So to go from the top side in Super Rugby, potentially an All Black, going overseas for the bottom team in the Prem, it's going to be a bit of a contrast for him, but he'd be making a lot more money. So we'll see. We'll monitor what happens with that one as well, but I for one, doubt whether New Zealand Rugby will buy him out of his contract. I can't see it happening. I think the agent is at work here, but we will see. And then Shaun Edwards, France's defence coach. There's been speculation that he might be leaving France as well. They might be going to show him the exit. They did have a couple of games at the end of the Six Nations where they conceded a lot of points, France. They conceded 50 against Scotland, and they conceded 40-something against England. They still won the latter game, but if he does end up leaving France, this is one guy you can guarantee will not be out of work for long. Will he head to the English coaching setup? I don't know. He's on the record saying he'd like to win a rugby championship at some point. You'd be mad, I feel like, not to snap up the services of Shaun Edwards if they do indeed become available. So there's a few kind of lack of details here. We don't know what's happening with James Lowe. We don't know what's happening with Fehi. We don't know what's happening with Shaun Edwards, but speculation is that he is leaving France anyway. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, feel free to do that now. As I said, Patreon is down in the description. Everyone who did the buy me a beer thing down in the description. Much appreciated. Take care, and we will chat again with some more stats at the end of the month when we will be much closer to Test Match Rugby. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.